Champion standing in the Hall of Fame.
This is an absolute monster ticket and going all the way.
Hello and welcome to the EFL TV agenda. This first time for 2014, and here we've got a bit of a special edition for you today. The VAFA Interleague game coming up this weekend between the EFL and the Victorian Amateur Football League. And I tell you what, it's going to be a cracking game at Visy Park on Saturday afternoon. And to discuss it all, I'm joined by the wise man of the EFL, back again for 2014. Ray, Baird, how are you?
Good afternoon, Braden. I'm very well and looking forward to the weekend's game. I just believe that the EFL have got a point to prove this time around.
Yeah, why is that? I mean, it's been a really close game the last couple of times, and again, I mean, how are you feeling this one's going to be close?
Well, I just feel that the EFL have gone about it a little bit more professional this time. I mean, Dan Donati's had the group now for 6 weeks. They're training together, and look, to put it in his own words, they're a bloody good group. And look, I think that's fantastic coming from the coach.
You speak of Dan Donati, he's had some pretty good success so far in charge of Bourne. What's he going to bring to this EFL Interleague side?
I think he's going to bring a bit of experience. As you all know, he's an EFL player. He's a former Old Exavs player in the VAFA. So look, he's experienced both leads. He knows what to expect, and he's the sort of coach that we know who can get everything out of these players. And
you mentioned he's a former Old Zavs player. So is Simon Lethlean, the VAFA coach as well. Bit of a rivalry there, you think? There could be a bit of a rivalry there, but the little thing that worries me about the news I've got out is that they've only had 2 training sessions at this stage at the ZAFA, and I just think that maybe they're taking things for granted. I don't know. They are a very good side by the same token. Do you just think the EFL are a better side, or it's more that you've got to have that chemistry flowing? I think you've got to have the chemistry flowing, but look, I look at the EFL over the last couple of seasons. The top end of Division 1 has got far more professional. The quality of football certainly improved, and there's a lot of those players will be running around at the weekend. And look, I mean, you speak of a lot of those players and the chemistry. We all acknowledge that they're really good players, you'd have to say, in both sides. But is it a case of you just need to get the players to gel? Is that all it is about these interleague games? If they gel, you're going to win pretty much? I think that's a big part of it, Braden, because you look at guys like Ryan Mullet, Rennie Gilchrist, always played against each other, and that's what pleases me with the 6 weeks training that they've already had. These players know now how to play with the opposition players, and that's going to be huge, I think. What do you think representative means to the local footballer? Do you think representative football is a big thing, or it's just a case of go out there and it's another game of football? I think it's good when it comes around, but I wouldn't like to see it every year. I think that every 2 or 3 years I think is enough. Look. There's a rivalry there between the two associations, there's no doubt about that. And look, the VAFA, they've won the last 2. The EFL have got to turn it around this year, really. They've been close the last couple of games, and I certainly expect another close one. Would you expect a similar sort of scoreline? Yeah, I think there's probably going to be about 15 points maximum in it, no more than that, And because we're an EFL show, we're going to focus a fair bit on the Eastern footy players. Who do you like? Who do you think is going to line up in most of the positions for the EFL side? Well, let's look at their backs first of all. Let's look at the star players they got there. You got Joel Perry from East Ringwood, Stuart Hill from Norwood, Dean Millhouse from Vermont, Stewie Kemperman from Noble Park. A good spread of players across some of the top sides. A good spread. That's a damn fine back line, isn't it? The one that I like out of that is Stewie Hill of Norwood. His last 2 seasons at Norwood, he's been outstanding. He's going to be the general down there on that back line as far as I'm concerned. We look at the midfield. Rennie Gilchrist, Ryan Mullet, Luke Williams, Daniel King, the Chandler medalist, just to name a few. Look, there's some great players there, and as I said, I'm looking forward to see Gilchrist playing with Mullet. That's going to be a terrific double. With that midfield, I mean, is there any chance of egos clashing or anything like that, Ray? I mean, that's an incredibly powerful midfield with a lot of leadership type players. No, look, these guys are professionals, Braden. Look, they know that if one of these opposition players on a normal Saturday is in a better position, they're professional enough, and they're playing for the EFL. They know they're going to dish the ball off. There's no doubt about that. Then we look to the forward lines. Luke Barker, Jeff Goebbels, 2 from Baldwin, Justin Van Noonan, another 100-plus goal kicker this season. I'm looking forward to him there. Look, they've got plenty of options down forward, the EFL side. And what about the ruck? Who do you think is going to be in the ruck? Simon Taylor, I think. He was the outstanding ruckman in Division 1 last year. He will take the #1 mentor there.
And well, I think that's about it, Ray. I mean, who do you think though dominates this game? Do you think it's an EFL win? Do you think they're going to bounce back? And if so, how?
Look, as I said, I think that they've got a lot to prove. Look, as Baldwin are going to find out this year, to win 3 in a row, premierships for Baldwin, but for the VAFA to win 3 of these games in a row, the pressure's all on the VAFA, I think. And I just think, as I said before, the EFL, they've come out more professional this year, trained together, they're gelled together, and as Dan Donati said, they're going to be a bloody good group.
Yeah, well, I think there's no arguments there, Ray. It's set to be a really tight contest. For mine, I think the EFL, they're going to find a way to bounce back. I really like the way Dan Zanardi's gone about things under Baldwin. I think it's going to be a similar sort of attitude, and we can expect a really close game. Certainly make sure you get out there. It's going to be at Visy Park this Saturday afternoon. It's going to be a cracking match. Have a look at those two sides. It's going to be a great build-up to the start of the EFL season, which is just only 10 days away. So we're very close, and Ray, looking forward to it. And we'll certainly speak to you soon on the EFL agenda.
And this is just a real appetizer for what's to come this year.